Hello, my name's Cathy Slaght, and if you have a few minutes to follow along with me today, I'd like to tell you about something that might transform your life. And it's talking about your own well-being and how you might manage that and create the reality you desire by working with a form of software. And this may not make much sense when we get started, but if you'll follow along, I believe it will. And any questions you might have, here is my site, CathyDSlatt.com, with my contact information. I also post every day a blog which gives further information. But for now, let me just show you what I'm talking about. There is a form of software known as the SRC for You, and it's a very simple download. In fact, we even let people try it for free for 30 days. If you were to download it, you would have a logo just like this, the P3, that you would simply double click. And this is what would appear. Now, it looks pretty basic. The truth is, this is a profoundly powerful form of software that can be a platform for anything you would like to do in reference to transforming your reality. And many people believe that they couldn't possibly work with anything like this. And so I like to point out I'm not completely computer literate. I do have a website, but that was built for me. I write up a post every day and send it to the webmaster. She is the one who puts it up. But I've worked with this software for 18 years now. And as you continue day after day to work with any form of software, obviously you develop some expertise. This is not the first software that I've worked with, but it has turned out to be the best. And I'll explain why as we go. But again, you've got your logo, you double click, and this is what comes up. And I'm going to show you how you could get started every day working with your own system of energy. First, though, I want to make the standard disclaimer. We're not doing doctor work. This is not work with the physical body, so it's not designed to do what the doctor does. It's not going to diagnose, it's not going to treat, it's not going to cure. Instead, what this is doing, this is working with stress, and people don't always realize what a big role stress plays in their health, because the true creation of our reality is done in a field of energy that surrounds the body, known as the etheric blueprint or etheric field. That's what we're working with, not the physical body. So if you have a physical problem or an emotional, mental level problem, go to the appropriate health practitioner. This is something to do along with that. And just to give a little more clarification, the work we're doing is with this pinkish lavender field right here, which is known as the etheric field. This is the template for our body. So let's just say a person has this software. They get up perhaps every morning, that's what I do, and they double click the logo and they pull up their platform. Now you actually get 10 of these with the software, and they can put their name, or in this case I'm going to put my client group because I have a group of people who have subscribed for me to send energy daily to them. And so what we're going to do now, there's an optimize connection button. I'm going to show you what this looks like. I simply clicked the plus here and it went through and balanced my energy and the group's energy. If there had been any reason that we shouldn't proceed, this red light right here would have come on and the software would have stopped. From that point, it could be as easy as hitting this one button. That's actually how the software was designed. And what this does, it starts a scan of the etheric field. And when it comes to a pattern of stress that has not been managed by the physical body, because that's what our body is doing 24/7, it's clearing patterns in the etheric field. But when it comes to a pattern that has not been managed, it then, with QiGong, works to clear that pattern. And so that would be where you could start if you were just wanting to experience this software. And again, if you contact me, you can receive a free 30-day trial of this software, and then on the site is a series of tutorials to show you just how to operate it. You'll find it is extremely user-friendly. But we're not going to really do the WonderClick for the group today. I wanted you to see this. Let's stop this. Let's clear. And we in the group have been working in reference to stress and the small intestine. So instead of just hitting WonderClick, I'm going to go ahead and load that theme. And this is based on Chinese medicine. So you'll see a lot of different terms. The sky is the limit as far as themes, because if it's not in here, you can just type it in. But small intestine is listed. We're going down to that. And right here. And now let's hit the WonderClick and see what kind of information we get. This is one of the reasons I invested in this software. I initially had no idea how powerful this software was because it looked so simple. But this removing peels of resistance, I hadn't found any other software that dealt with this. And we operate ourselves as software systems. We're biological computers. So one of the deepest programs we have running is resistance. And I found it to be extremely beneficial to be clearing that resistance as much as we could. So with this, I now see the information that's coming up from a scan of the etheric field. See, for example, we're asking to first, in reference to small intestine, start by working on the sinus. Now, like I said, this is your first step, but there are many different tool tabs in this software, and I'm going to show you 3 more today. And this might answer some questions. So I'm going to go to Show Tool Tabs. Takes a moment to come up. There we go. And it's got a computerized dowsing, which I myself really have been impressed with. So going on over here, and I'm going to just ask some questions. First, I'd like to check the group's hydration. We're a little low today, you see. Now, let me show you in this green box maximum value. I've been taught that when there's a 98 or 99, that indicates a chronic stress. If it's 100 up to 102, that indicates the body is managing that stress with its own energy. So I'm going to go ahead and enhance. You see, we're at a 45%. I'd like to enhance it up to its maximum value. And I'm going to add this to the list side, but also we have 2 more panels, so that these are the 3 I'm going to show you today in addition to the main P3, the dowsing tool, the Gong, and the SHEN. Gong and SHEN are Chinese martial arts terms that deal with inverting patterns of energy. Gong tends to be more physical and mental. SHEN tends to be more emotional and spiritual. So I'm going to just go into the Gong and let's invert any stress pattern related to hydration. Excuse me, this doesn't mean you don't drink water. What it means, it's clearing any pattern of stress. The information you now have from this says, you know, chronically, maybe I'm not getting enough water every day. Maybe I need to look at that. But moving on, let's see. Okay, so excuse me, back to, got carried away here. I also like to check on will to live. Because believe it or not, on a subconscious level, many of us know what to do and we're just not doing it. And I like to see where we are with that. Okay, so we're pretty good with that. This is a group. We do get our energy daily. So let's just go ahead, we'll enhance it to the max. We want to enhance those things we want. There will be many things we check that we don't want to enhance, but we want to enhance hydration, will to live, and then there is one more. The Chinese say that the cause of every disease or every problem, whether it be financial or otherwise, is self-hate. So I like to check our level each day of self-love. And so again, that's pretty good. We're a little bit low today, but our maximum value overall we see, that's just a glitch, probably just a Monday morning glitch. Okay, but now I'm going to take some information that came up from the P3, and I'm going to see where are we with that. For example, you saw in reference to the small intestine, the option selected was sinus. So I'm going to see where are we with that. All right, now we're at a maximum value of 100, so we are clearing that on our own today. I'm going to go ahead and clear here too. We don't want to enhance sinus stress. Let's see what else comes up. Mouth, circulatory plexus. Let's check these things. Okay, again, we're managing that. Again, we're managing that. Let's see what else we've got. This group receives energy daily, like I said before, so when we jump up with something that's not being managed, then of course we're going to send the energy. But very often that's not the case. Again, 102. So we're continuing our own body today to clear. Now here's an acupoint, gallbladder 21. All right, so here's a point of perhaps chronic stress, all based on the etheric field. I'm going to simply go to the Gong. Someone asked me, how do you know? How do you know? Well, I'm going to go to the Gong because that is focused more on physical, and I'm going to just type in stress related to gallbladder. The software knows what to do. You don't need to be an expert. So the top panel is more of a physical report. The second panel is more of a mental. So we see, for example, defensive action, deflection. Now let's go in and see, is this something that at this moment in time we need a little QiGong energy to help balance? Yes. So now this would be more of an emotional. And I'm just going to put non-beneficial deflection, because sometimes we need a little deflection. So I like to put that non-beneficial in. There's contented. That looks pretty good. Now here's a stress factor of curse. And I've got quite a few posts on topics like this because they are pertinent. But right now, let's just see where we are. Again, we're balancing that out. So that's a very small blip in our energy. Now they say that we are chattering to ourselves on a subconscious level 24/7, and that this sets our voltage in many ways. So what are we saying at this moment in time? I couldn't quite remember how to throw a boomerang, but eventually it came back to me. So it's interesting. Our subconscious as a group is kind of saying, in my opinion, hey, this will come to you. Managing this software is quite easy, and it will do it for itself. Okay, mind too easily influenced. Let's just look at that. All right, a little bit of a stress there. So let's, again, that's an emotional. Let's go into SHEN. Stress related to being too easily influenced. Okay, and look at that, superconscious dark depression. Let's take a look at that, see where we are with that. Remember too, once you understand how our energy fields operate, we can also entangle with others. So let's just look and see. All right, so yeah, there's in there some depression. Let's just go ahead and go into the SHEN, and let's work towards inverting that pattern. Hostility. So we've got more emotional than physical things going on today, it looks, etherically anyway. Hostility. All right, we're working our way out of that. Conceptual vessel. Some of these you can cut and paste if you choose, if your computer cooperates with you. All right, again, balancing that out. And actually, that's all you would have to do. We have over here as well a panel, and we can go ahead and check that side as well. And I am going to do that. I'm just not going to do it in this screencast. But just for example, subconscious, restore passion and interest in one's life. That might be an interesting thing to see, stress-wise, where we are with that. All right, we're coming out of that. We're good. But this is the kind of information you can get. Once you have this information, go into your Gong. You're going to hit focus. Now it's going to take a few moments for this to get set. So we're just going to wait. It's focusing on the task at hand. And then this will go for 24 hours, and I like to go ahead and just set it for the max. Start. The SHEN does not take any focusing time. It goes 20 hours at the max. Start that. And then we have a charger. I guess I should have said I was going to show you 4 of these because I need to. And what I like to do, and at some point I do it daily for the group, I'm going to go in here into object. And I'm going to type in all food and water consumed by energy group today. And then the software is programmed for a clause, all that stuff. Let's get that in there. And so it knows what I mean when I type in clear all that stuff. It means fluoride, it means insecticide, it means chlorine, all on an etheric level. I can't stress that enough. However, the other day when we checked the group as far as stress related to heavy metal, we were very low, and I was pretty excited about that. So let's add that. And I really only need to do this for 1 minute. I could go all the way up to 5 minutes, but this is for today. 1 minute will do it. This will cover everything we eat and drink today on an energetic level. Obviously, you're not going to pour poison in your food and eat it. So working with this software could be as simple as this. Now tomorrow I'm going to do another tutorial and give a little bit more information, but this answers a few questions that people have been asking. And if you'd like to work along with these tutorials, remember to contact me. I'll send you a free link along with instructions on how to use it for yourself. So I thank you so much for watching.